Evening, everyone, and welcome back to yet another live preview, as always, on a Wednesday, 7 p.m. for the big game this week. Of course, early kickoff, so make sure you don't forget that. But yeah, me and Neil are going to be chatting through everything that's happened over the last few days, talking Ryan Loft debut, how we got on, of course, if we need to strengthen or not, and yeah, basically loads of things leading up to the game. Of course, if you're watching on the replay, please do leave a like and comment your score prediction. If you're watching live, then appreciate everyone joining as always. And yeah, make sure you smash the like button. Of course, the support has been class, so I really appreciate the support everyone's showing. And yeah, just hope you enjoy, of course, and if you haven't already joined FanHub, please do so. I've got a code. Checking at games, win different prizes, tickets, etc. But yeah, and of course, getting into it, we're going to start off with the Hartlepool game. Like I've got a bit of a different format this week. I've just to make it easier so people know if people join, they know what we're talking about. So I've got a few different sections if that makes it easier. But of course, get your comments in as well. Always interact, so get your comments in. But yeah, talking about the game, of course, winning 2-0 clean. Pretty weird lineup as well. A lot of the players that played, I wasn't really expecting, to be honest. Big up to Kian as well, saying he's got his ticket as well. Big up to you. Even into captain that as well. Big up to you, Sheffield Wednesday fan tuning in. But yeah, it was an interesting one, wasn't it, to say the least. The lineup and the game. First of all, thoughts on the lineup.
I mean, Barton's looked to me the way he's set up. He's looked to crowbar as many of them attacking players as he can in one side. I didn't mind it looking at it. I thought I always think Rovers' best chance now, when I've looked at over half a season, is once we get beyond an opposition midfield, we're going to look good. And if he thinks getting as many sort of those attacking players in that final third is the way to do it, then I mean, I didn't mind it too much. I mean, the way we set up, I don't think it was as rigid as a 4-3-3 as what it seemed, to be honest, because ultimately, no matter when we've got the ball or when we haven't got it, we do play wing backs. We do. That's how it is. You can see the pattern of play and the way we work it. We do. And ultimately, he's gone and paid money for Anderson and Clark, because they're the boys he wants out on the touchline. So the way I don't pay too much attention to what sort of BBC or whatever set us up as, because we never do. We never set up. We always set up with wing backs. It's just how it is, and then we mould everything in and around it. But as far as the way we set up, it was fine, to be honest. I had a habit when I saw it that Evans was going to sit that little bit deeper. It's not ideal. It's not the best way. It's not the best place for him. But like I said, he's trying to crowbar all them sort of tens in one side.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird, wasn't it? I mean, evening to Matt as well, saying good evening, guys. Evening to you. Big up to James as well, saying Coughlin shithouse performance against Hartlepool. Got slapped but nicked it at the death. Big fan of that result. Can't see us doing much against Swindon though. Yeah, it's going to be tough, Swindon. Evans' goal against Hartlepool was outstanding. Yeah, says Kai, big up to you. An underwhelming performance with a great ending. Yeah, absolutely. Big win inbound Saturday. Well, I hope so, but we will get into that. But it was weird though, because like you said, he tried to get people in, shoehorn players in. Like Nicholson was playing centre mid. That really, I could sort of see what he's doing, because Hartlepool were worst away team in trying to get in, but it didn't work. I mean, he done well for the cross, but he's not a centre midfielder. He's not going to get stuck in. And I didn't. Evans was sort of, for me, hit and miss. If we can, I do not want to see him in that position again, like sitting deep, because for me, he doesn't affect. I know he scored the free kick, but for me, he has to play cam, because that is his position. I could see what he was doing. Of course, Finley was suspended, but luckily it worked. Of course the subs as well. Bringing on late subs. But luckily we did get the win in the end. And of course, Collins has got another goal. He's starting to look really good now, which is good to see. And it was just good to see. Like I said to you after the game, we didn't play well, but we got the win, and that's what we need to do more of. Like if we would have done that against Tram, played well, because there's been games where we haven't had the luck or we haven't finished our chances, like Salford and like Colchester. So it was just good to get the win. And like you said, we got a few games in hand as well on other teams that we obviously like Scunny, Oran, of course, which is going to be tough, but Scunny and Oldham are two that we need to try and win. And yeah, like you said, we just got the job done. Next one is Ryan Loft. What did you make of him? Because obviously I know we chatted about, but just to give more people like your thoughts, what did you make of Loft? And also get your thoughts in the comments as well. Let us know. Yeah, what did you make of him?
I mean, it wasn't the best debut I've ever seen in my life, to be honest. I thought he was bang average for a lot of it, but I said to you in the week, like you might not see the best of him for weeks to come, and not really the best of him until next season yet. He's got to sort of adapt to what we do, the way we play, what Barton wants from him. You can train and you can be brilliant on a training pitch. It's what you do on a Saturday that counts. He looked a bit disjointed. Yeah. He didn't look like he knew where he really had to pick up position. He was just working on instinct, I think, more than anything. He wasn't awful, but what he does do is he gives you the option. I know going direct, isn't ideal, and for weeks we haven't been able to do it because we've been playing, basically two false nines up there because we haven't had a 9. But he does give you the option on the odd occasion when you can't go through the lines, and he is an out ball. Fair enough, it didn't stick great, and his movement wasn't fantastic. He's coming from Scunthorpe, who I imagine aren't as a fitter group as what we are. I know a lot of our lads didn't have a pre-season, but obviously our strength and conditioning lot have got our lot up to speed pretty quick, and we look like a fit side now. And he looked like someone who hadn't been with the group for a long time. He looked a bit sort of leggy and off it, and a yard off of it. Like when he got the ball into feet and that, he didn't look desperately sharp. But you can only judge him on what you've seen of him for one game, and he didn't look wonderful. But I'm sure there's plenty more of him to come.
Yeah, exactly. And like as long as the season goes on more, like you said, we've got the option. Although it didn't, like you said, it didn't. I don't think he won anything in the air on Saturday, even though he is 6'3". But like people are saying in the comments, and like you have said, there's not really for me anyway. There isn't loads of pressure on him. It's not like we spent 300k like Tom Nichols. Like we spent 50k on him, and he's come from Scunthorpe, where he's got 12, 13 goals in two seasons, and like you said, it will. He's only been with the squad 2 weeks, and the more games he plays, the better he's going to get, and the better he's going to look. So. It's going to be interesting.
He didn't do a great deal, but again, Saturday was all about sort of fine margins. We were second best all game. The only thing that we were better than Hartlepool is we had match winners in our side, and they didn't. And games like that are won on moments, and we had players that can create a moment. We got like sort of 4 10s in our side that pretty much any side in League Two would take because they can deliver a moment. Hartlepool didn't have that, and ultimately what Loft did was he managed to get a knockdown for the first goal. He didn't do pretty much anything else all game, but I love games like that. Shitty, ugly wins are the best ones to get for me.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, like you said, wasn't the best, but we'd take that any day. Big up to Riley as well, saying evening lads. Tom Butler, big up to you as well, saying lot will even itself out over the course of the season. Exactly. Gordo 2.0 says confident goes a long way. Loft will need some time to bed in, but he's come from a Scunthorpe side, losing week in, week out. His confidence is going to be low. Yeah, exactly. I was surprised about Josh Grant returning so soon, especially seeing Trevor Clark. I mean, I think Trevor Clark, we'll get into lineups later, but I think Trevor Clark will play. I think the only reason why Trevor Clark didn't play is because he had a bit of a knock against Peterborough, because when he come off, he looked like he had a bit of a knock. So even though Josh Grant was okay, to be honest, but I would much prefer to see a natural left-footed left wing back in that position. And Josh Grant, I know he even said it. He doesn't like playing in midfield, but he can sort of play anywhere along the back line. Like if he wanted to go a bit more defensive, he can play as a right back. He can play centre back. So for me, Trevor Clark is the first choice, but it was only a knock. Kai saying we need to give Loft time. Yes, it wasn't his best performance, but he needs to adapt from a poor side. Yeah, exactly. Even into M-dubs as well. Early days for Loft. He's certainly a presence for us. Hopefully it'll be okay. Yeah, exactly. Different presence as well. And like everyone's saying, people saying, just needs to gel in. Even into, yes, I'm Cornish as well. Good evening to Vaughan as well. Yeah, hit the like button if you haven't already. Appreciate 28 of you in currently as well. And of course, next, going on to the next thing, I know I've done a little bit of a video on it earlier, but I want to get your thoughts and more people's thoughts in the comments. So I've seen like a mixed reaction, like for you, is it, and for us to do, because obviously he hasn't, it's sort of mix and mix, because you can see he's got a bit about him, but he hasn't, like the games he's played in, he's done all right. I just think for me, it's the right decision in the end, because I think for me, he just needs games, and he needs to bulk up a bit. He's a bit, obviously he's young in it, so it's going to be different, but for me, it was the right decision. But what's your thoughts on it?
Better than I expected, I thought, because we got a transfer fee for him, didn't we? To pay money for him, Kings Lynn?
Yeah. I can see, obviously. Yeah. I'm not sure how much, but yeah, we did get a fee for him as well. And the weird thing was, and obviously, if you don't know, Kings Lynn are doing awful, by the way. Like, they're second bottom, and 3 go down this year as well from the National League, and they're 11 points from safety. So that's why they've only given him a contract to the end of the season. But yeah. What's your thoughts on it? Do you think it was the right decision for him to go?
100%. 100%. He's dead wood. He was dead wood. He was never going to be in the equation. I know you say he's young, but when you're sort of 2021, you've got to be in and around the conversation of a matchday squad, and he wasn't. I mean, you look at what we got on our cards at the minute. We got Evans, Collins, Sammy Nick, Anderson going forward, Loft, Thomas. He's getting nowhere near that. He's getting nowhere near it. He's dead wood. So yeah, move him on. If you get, and he was going to get released in the summer anyway. Joey probably had a frank conversation with him and saying, "Look, you're never going to be part of my plans here because we've just got too much in that area, which is superior to you. So, Kings Lynn have come in for you. We're going to pick up a bit of money. Just go and get it done now."
Yeah. I got to agree. Like I said, I've seen a lot of mixed reactions, like you always do if a player joins or leaves or whatever. And like you said, he was never going to get near the team with the amount of quality we've got now, and especially because everyone's coming back. Sorry. Even the likes of Saunders is still need to come back. Like, where's the striker? Whether it'd be interesting to see because we've got so many players coming back now. Like you look at like going forward, like you said, there's like Collins, Evans, Thomas, Loft, Clark, Pittman, Saunders. There's so many players. Nicholson. There's so many players. It'd be interesting to see. I can't see it, but it would be interesting to see if like someone else like that isn't a youth player leaves. But like everyone's saying as well, right decision. Gordo saying you only have to look at Collins to see what a boost in confidence can do. Are we paying part of Westbrook's wages? I think so, because I think, like we talked about, he's on $4,000, I believe. So yeah, there's no way Stevenage we would be paying half of that. I should thought. I mean, there ain't really need to much to talk on about the Westbrook one, because we both worked out and he's been poor, weak and stuff. Like, obviously, I wish him all the best. Hopefully he can get his confidence back up and stuff like that. But it just, we've talked about it plenty of, and we've seen his last game against Peterborough. That just tells you everything. He was just hiding and not getting in there. So should be interesting. We did play the whole game last night. But yeah, I think we're paying half of the wages. Sad he left, to be honest. Needed to play him more off the bench. Could have been the next Ellis for us. I don't recall Ellis the first team, and then he became class. Gordo, I would imagine so, Vaughan. There's no way Stevenage could afford $4,000 a week. Matt saying, right decision, but would have liked to see him go to a slightly better team, though. It's hard, though, isn't it? When he's only made 16 appearances for Rovers in the amount of time he's been here, and he's, 21 now, getting on 22, then there isn't, it's sort of hard to take, there isn't going to be any other club, really, apart from the lower National League. Hopefully he does well, though, and we could see him do better in the next few years. Got some good attacking players at the club, so I couldn't see him getting a game here. True promised last year, but hasn't kicked on. If he was any good, he'll be back in the Football League one day. Yeah, exactly. My only surprise was Walker didn't go to Stevenage. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, isn't it? I've done the tweet at how many Rovers players in that Stevenage and Crawley game last night. It was 7, including Westbrook, which is mad. But yeah, Crawley or Stevenage, to be honest. How many chances did he actually get? Yeah, he's played 16 games during his time at Rovers, so that tells you everything. If he had more quality, then he would have played more, to be honest. Of course, I touched on this in a video earlier on today. But, your thoughts. I know now we've seen Westbrook go out on loan, Walker leave, other people expected to leave on loan. What position would you want to strengthen if you because I think we'll sign one more player, but for me it's either, I'm not sure what I'd rather want, but for your opinion and people in the chat as well, get your thoughts. What would you like to see us sign? Like a centre mid, a wing back, a centre back? What do you think we need to strengthen?
I mean, I'm not too concerned about incomings now for January. I think it's not going to make a great deal of difference. And like you said, the later the window goes, the more ridiculous the demands are. And you could end up just bringing in someone for the sake of it and it being a waste of money, and just getting a deal done to, satisfy fans and a bit of hype. Our squad don't look too bad at the minute for me. I wouldn't be devastated if we didn't bring anyone else in January. I've got an idea of who I'd like in the summer, but January wise, I just think you stick with what you've got. They seem a settled group. You saw sort of Peterborough and Saturday. They all play for each other. They keep going. They keep driving on there. They're a settled group. I don't think there's a great necessity to bring anyone else in. If you look at that squad, there's plenty of versatility to cover positions and plug holes. Plenty of utility players to manage the system we play. I don't think we're desperate for anyone.
Yeah, that's fair. Like you said, because now obviously more players are coming back. Like you said, and there's plenty of versatility. Matt is also saying Swindon are without their first choice. Yeah, he's Joe Wollacott. Although Garner did get knocked out, I doubt he's not going to be back for our game. But to be fair, their other keepers pretty good. Lewis Ward, mind you, Kings Lynn are quite a few. Obviously Barrett, Tommy Widrington, who is the manager there. If anyone didn't know, and now Zane Walker. So Matt says centre midfielder. Defensive player for sure if we do, but I agree we don't need anyone that badly. Get Harry's out of the team. I know he has his moments, but he makes me. That's the one player because there was a few games in a row like Harrogate and a few other games where there was 3 or 4 games in a row even Colchester drew to them, but I thought he looked good. But then there'd be like 1 or 2 games, like even the game on the weekend. I was a bit annoyed really at the fact that Anderton was dropped. Like Anderton was quality against Peterborough, then he's just dropped because Harry's is back. Like that really annoyed me, but it's just opinions. Gordo saying I'd be targeting Telford. I don't think Telford would. Well, maybe. I don't know, but no chance we get Telford. My cousin is most of it, and he said no chance. BFC Tom, big up to you as well. Zane Walker into loss. Why are some people kicking off? Yeah, to be fair, it's funny the amount of different opinions there is. Did you see? Yeah, Mildenhall was on the bench against Man City, and I think Kieran Harris needs to be benched on Saturday. He makes me nervous when all he does is hoofball. Yeah, I mean, like we said, we'll get into it. But of course, looking at the last game, the home game, losing 3-1. Don't want to talk about it too much, but we will quickly go over it. Of course, Rovers actually went 1-0 up as well. Then Jack Payne, Ben Gladwin, and Harry McCurdy, who has been on fire this season since they got him on a free in the summer from Carlisle. Like I said, I don't want to go over it too much, but what was your thoughts on because it was, for me, that last game against Swindon was pretty easy to see where we were getting, but which was the midfield. But yeah, what was your thoughts on the last game against Swindon?
They're the best I've seen this season, Swindon, by a mile. Like, I know we've been done by a few sides this season, but as far as a well-oiled team, ball retention, pattern of play, getting the ball, moving it, knowing exactly what their job is, they're the best I've seen this season. I remember being at the game and like going in at half time thinking, how are we one up here, sort of thing. And then saying to my old man, like, they're never going to be like this in the second half. They can never keep this up. And they were better second half. And I remember saying to him in the hour, I can't believe what I'm watching. I haven't seen the side come to the Mem and do that to us in years. They were unreal, to the point where I was like, I like watching it. Like, we were getting absolutely popped off the pitch. We could not get close to him. But I was just thinking, you just got to hold your hands up. They were class. They were brilliant that day. Like, I don't know if they play like that every week, because obviously I don't watch them every week. But for what I saw for 90 minutes against us, they were head and shoulders better than us.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, all over the pitch they were better than us. But I think the main thing was the midfield. I think that was when Coots and Coots and Whelan had not long like been back in the team, and they were still unfit. And their Swindon's midfield was, because it was I think it was it was Jack Payne. No, it was Jack
Reading
Payne.
Gladwin. It was Reading Gladwin won the game.
Yeah, and who's that other one that was
Kessler Hayden was bombing on.
Yeah, and they just tore us apart. Like it was every time that like you said, how quick they moved the ball was mental. And the way, and that Simpson in the first half, the tall striker they got, he could have had a hat trick in the first half a bit quicker, and the ball would have been a bit better to him. Like we were, I'm surprised it was only 3-1. And like you said, we got the goal out of nowhere. Like we were getting bad, and I think it was Evans won it. Evans, what a quality pass to Anderson. He just smashed it home. But like you said, we're gonna have to be so much better than we were on the weekend, and of course against Swindon, because I do not want to go there and get absolutely smashed like we did in the home game. But it could happen. But fingers crossed it doesn't. And we missed the boat with Telford. Kian hasn't hoofed it once this season. Yeah. Can we take Brett Pittman off your hands, because we need a striker since selling Jake Beasley to Blackpool? You're a watch. I mean, yeah, why not? I mean, we got Loft. To be fair, I reckon Pittman, like he was never going to be like a consistent starter for us anyway. But it should be interesting to see how much game time he does get, but I don't think it will be much. It'll be mainly sub appearances. Yeah, that reverse game was infuriating. Yeah, agree. It's mad how good Swindon were as they were nearly gone in the summer. Yeah, I know it was mad. I can't believe like how they've just, because it's basically it's a new team for them, and some of the players they got there, like even just like seeing Johnny Williams in League Two, like it's stupid. Like he's been at Sunderland, he played quite a few games for Palace, younger, and it's mad. And he's still like starts for Wales a lot of games as well. I know it's Wales, but they're still a decent side. They were they were good in the Euros and stuff and World Cup and whatever. So yeah, it's just crazy how Garner's got the squad he has, and they've all worked. Pretty much every single signing they've got has worked. Like McCurdy wasn't even doing that well at Carlisle, and he's gone to Swindon, and he's looking, I don't know, messy. Every game I see him, he just looks so good. Like, and he's the main, like for me, he's the main danger man. Like he's on the fun there as well. He's just quality. So, yeah, we gotta keep an eye out for him, and of course other players. Jake saying, "Cheers for the kind words, lads." Obviously a Swindon fan. Now, but you can take Leon Clark. Yeah, take Leon Clark and go to Rochdale. He could help you. Got to say, fair play to Garner. The job he's done so better side than we were last time we played him. So I do fancy us to get something this time. Should be a good game. Yes, I'm nervous. I'm very, very nervous. Because although we've got some, won our last two, but of course we haven't played a lot. And Swindon, and even though they're doing well, we got onto it in a minute. Like some of their results haven't been that good, but we will. I don't want to say something stupid that we get. They had no players anyway, so it was a clean slate. Yeah, that's true. And also Garner didn't have Garner doesn't have an idiot like Tommy Widgington there, because although Garner was obviously wanted some of the signings, I think Tommy Widgington had a bit of a. I know, like a lot of people, like including me, like slated Garner, but I think looking back at it and the bigger picture, I think it was just a bigger job. Start of the season, there wasn't no pressure on Swindon. When they got all their players, there wasn't any pressure. All their thing is to stay in the league. That was it. And because they've got no pressure, they're just thriving. But of course, we will, and we'll actually get onto it now. Swindon last 5 games, they've been pretty inconsistent, really. They beat Port Vale 3-1, lost to Mansfield 3-2. Beat their last home game, they thrashed Northampton 5-2. They drew with Tisdale Stevenage. So, and then they lost before that. They lost to Barrow. So it's been an inconsistent sort of last few games. But like they said, they won their last game. Of course, Mansfield on good form, and to beat Northampton. I mean, even me, I said like Northampton they were probably in the top 3 worst teams I've seen this season, even though they're doing well. But yeah, to win 5-2, yeah, he's definitely the main man to watch out for. Matt's is saying the Westbrook goal disallowed last season. Yeah, that was terrible. Terrible. Tommy the Tit, thank God he's gone. Yeah, as well. Definitely. What a Kings Lynn as well. Have fun. But yeah, hit the like button if you haven't already, and keep getting your comments in, and subscribe if you're new. I've seen a few new faces, so hit the red subscribe button if you haven't already. Of course, going over the last 5 games, the last 3, obviously the Port Vale game, Forest Green and Salford were like 2 months ago, but still put them in there. And to be fair, it was so frustrating because even Port Vale, I didn't think they were that good. But it was just the fact that we give them 2 stupid goals and then got 2. Obviously, the early red card from Finley didn't help either. But yeah, hopefully the confidence from the last 2 games, and even the performance against Northampton, even though different for the game tomorrow. You know, it still gives us a bit of confidence. You know, playing. Yeah, we made Northampton look so average. I mean, obviously going on about Swindon. What do you of like your thoughts on them like this season and the way they're going so far? What do you make of them and Garner?
Well, they've been thrown together in the summer as a bunch of misfits, and they've just all galvanised together and go like, no one else wanted you. We're all here together. Let's see the best we can make of it. And they found a way of basically trying to get their career back on track. And they're flying, aren't they, really? I mean, you look at some of them results, you know, they're in and out. But I think that is League Two. You know, no one's really absolutely killing it. But when you catch them on a good day, you won't beat them. When they're on song, like I said, they're the best I've seen.
Yeah, same.
That's basically what they are. They're a bunch of misfits that got thrown together, and Garner's gone and said, look, no one wanted any of us. This is where we're at, so let's make the best of it and prove people wrong, and they're doing it.
Yeah. And like you said, yeah, they're definitely like they're although Exeter beat us, I think we were just so bad. I know they were. I wasn't at the game to see them fully, but from like, I think even I've seen a lot of people say even after that Swindon game that Swindon were definitely the best team, and there for me as well. The second Newport as well. Even though we sort of gifted them a few goals, I think they look good as well. But yeah, definitely Swindon have been the best for me. Thoughts on Koike? Yes, another one. Of course, he's been linked with Sunderland, Sheffield Wednesday, doing very well at Northampton, of course, as well. And for me, I liked Koike, but he didn't really play much. Like when he did play, I thought he didn't play a lot, and it was mainly Luke Leahy, wasn't it? I think Koike was mainly just playing in cup games and coming on, but yeah, look at him now doing well and linked with Sunderland and Sheffield. That's just what happens in football sometimes. Rob saying that's where Northampton need to be, bottom of League Two for me. He obviously doesn't like Northampton. Or BFC Tom saying Orient up there for me as well. Well, I couldn't go to that game. I was ill. I didn't go to the Orient game. But yeah, because there was a three games in a row, wasn't it? I think it was Orient, Swindon, and Newport all at home after one another, and we lost 3-1 each game. I think, yeah, 3-1 each game. So yeah,
what I'd say about Orient is they were well drilled. They played for set pieces. They were direct. As far as what a team to watch for 90 minutes, Swindon batter them as far as what you might see on the eye. But as far as being effective in what they do, playing for set pieces, winning fouls, getting in front and killing the game, a bit like they're probably a lesser side of what Wickham sort of try and do. But they're damn effective at what they do, Orient. Yeah. I mean, you could see as soon as they got in front, we were never getting back into that game because they just killed it dead. Pratley pretty much refereed that whole game. And Orient were good, but yeah, Swindon were ridiculous for League Two, I think, on the day.
Yeah, I agree. Big up to Bristol Rovers Jaden as well. Yeah, I'm loving Collins at the minute. I'm glad he's found a bit of confidence. You know, like Barton said, and like, you know, a lot of people when we got him, you know, he's got the quality, he's got the skill, he's got the work rate. All he needed was a goal, and it's basically been since he got that absolute worldie against Oxford in the FA Cup. He's just kicked on from there, and you know, like I've done a post, and a few people have done a post, but you know, five goals in his last. Excuse me there. But yeah, 5 goals in his last 4, and he's on fire. So every time, like you look at him now, every time he gets a chance, you think it's going in the back of net. Like before, we didn't get a goal. Like remember Colchester when he had that chance. Like if that was him now, be bang in the corner. But and like you said, everything now is basically going in. And I think he was definitely outfield player. I think he was definitely the best player on. Yeah, just feed Collins. At the moment, he's on fire at the moment. Matt saying the last game last season with the worst sub. Oh yeah, that Swindon game last season away. Yeah, terrible. And yeah, McCormick off. And of course, who scored that game for Swindon? Pork Pie Pele. Brett Pittman scored the winner, and now he's at us. What's had the shits in the toys? Essentially, watched a 1-0 Gas win. One to watch. Yeah, Collins is definitely one to watch. Taylor started slow, but look, yeah, exactly. Taylor started slow, but yeah, it's good. It's good to see now. Players coming together, and that's what confidence can do. Like any player, if you're not obviously like striker, if you're not scoring, then you're not going to be confident. But as soon as you get that first goal, like Collins has shown, he's absolute fire. Quickly look at the league table. If anyone don't know, Swindon 5th in the league, played 24, won 11, drew 7, lost 6. Currently on 40 points, so doing very, very well. Rovers 16th, but if we put a run together like Mansfield have done, or even if it's 3 or 4 games, then we've got 3 games. I know it doesn't mean a lot because same old Rovers, like we were meant to beat teams away this ever and should have battered Salford and we didn't. But if we can win those games in hand, Oldham, Scunthorpe, fingers crossed, and go on a bit of a run, then you never know. But yeah, 1-8, drew 5, lost 9, 29 points. So currently 11 points behind Swindon, but we've got 2 games in hand. And like you said, it's not really that far off. Like they're 5th, so with 2 games in hand. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can go on a bit of a. But yeah, Saturday is going to be tough for sure. Even into Yambi Simpson, also a massive shout out to Belly. He kept us in so many games. Yeah, he's been class. He's been so good for me. Been getting on, nearing the 40-minute mark. Of course, keep getting your comments in as well. Let us know your thoughts on any of the topics. If you got any questions or anything for us, then please get in the comments. And of course, smash the like button if you haven't already. But we're going to get into lineups now. I'll come to start off with you, Neil, and of course, everyone get their lineups who you would play in the comments below. Jaden saying, "Do you think we will win after a loss against Swindon?" I mean, I don't think we'll win, but I'll be very, very happy with the draw. Let's put it that way. But we will get into predictions in a minute. Belly would be first choice over Anzi. Well, it's going to be interesting now, isn't it? Because, like you said, there's competition for place. Let's get into it. Of course, everyone get who would you play, like to see play. Get your team in the comments below. But going with you, Neil, what do you reckon? Or who would you play? Would you replace anyone that started on the weekend?
Yeah, I would take a couple out, to be honest. I still go with 3-5-2. I think there's no point changing what you've recruited for, what you're planning to do in the future. It will probably be sort of matching up Swindon as well, because they'll probably do the same. I'll go Belly in goal. I'd have Connor Taylor at the heart of it. Harry's one side, Alfie the other. I'd go Anderson right wing back. I'd take Grant out and put Trevor Clark in it, left wing back. I'd put Coots in the middle with Finley, because I think what they're going to put in the middle there will be sort of Reed, Gladwin, and probably Williams. I mean, that's probably technically one of the best midfields you're going to find in League Two. So I think you're going to need Finley in there to get about him with Coots. Yeah. I play Evans and Collins. It's the 2-10s off a Loft, to be honest, because I think we're going to need to get sort of Collins and Evans in and around Reed, who's going to sit in that pocket and try and dictate play like he did against us. We're going to have to get into him real early and let Coots deal with Gladwin, I think. Yeah. Got to nullify that midfield. And once you can get beyond that midfield, then it's up to sort of Collins, Evans, Loft to go and do what they got to do. But we got to try and push their wing backs back and nullify their threat in midfield, because if you let them get on the ball and move it, we'll be dead on our feet after an hour, 70 minutes, because they'll just pass us to death if we let them.
I agree. Yeah, like it's all about that midfield battle for me, because if we can, like we've seen on there some of their results, and there's also when I looked at League when I'm doing the League 2 transfers, like rumour video the other day, they've also wingback that played against us for Swindon in the first half of that other game. He was recalled, and he's definitely the best wingback I've seen this season against us. He was lightning. So he's been recalled by Aston Villa, and their other centre back who was very good as well. I think it's Romani Critchlow Noble, who's a centre back. He's now gone to Plymouth, so they're without those two, which is positive news. But like you said, if we can get past their midfield, that I think both strikers or attacking players of both teams are good as well. So, but it's all, and their defense, I think they've conceded around the same number of goals as we have, 33 goals. So even though they've won a lot of games and scored well, like we've seen some of their results, they do concede goals. So. But yeah, I pretty much agree with your lineup. Riley going with Belshaw, Taylor, Kilgore, Clark, Nicholson, Collins, Loft, Evans. Wouldn't mind Thomas playing. He's a good player. Matt is going with a 3-4-1-2. Belshaw, Kilgore, Taylor, Harries, Anderson, Coots, Whelan, Trevor Clark, Evans, Loft, Collins. Yeah, that's going to be the big one. But of course, when you think about him being, keeping him quiet, that'd be for them stopping Payne, and it depends who plays, because I think it will. They can either play Johnny Williams or Jack Payne, because they're both class. They're both class, and I think they dropped. I was looking at their team against Port Vale. They dropped Linden, who's an ex-Villa midfielder, because apparently he's quite injury prone. So it'd probably be It could be anything. Linden. Build. So, big up to Lars as well, saying I tried going in with his 2-1 Rovers prediction. Collins and Loft with the goals, but yeah, we will get into predictions in a minute. Don't care who we play as long as we get a result. Yeah, I know it's annoying, because I think it's because my computer updated since 2-3 weeks, so I need to either try and delete the latest update, because it's so annoying, because it used to be good before, but yeah, all I can say is sorry. I hope it isn't that bad. Hope you can mainly still hear me, but yeah, I'll have to get either another laptop or whatever. Drayden saying Evans, Nicholson, Anderson, Belshaw, Collins, Kilgore, Harries, Finley, Coots. Who's that? Ben, Anzi, Grant. I think he means bench. Bench, Connolly, Yokola, Anderton, or Grant, Finley, Thomas, Nichols. That's what I mean. It's a very good bench as well we can have. Like you said, if we can, have that team, we still got Nicholson, Pittman, and Grant,
Thomas
Whelan on the bench. I'd probably. Yeah, Thomas, Spence. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with him. I think he might get recalled, because but that's the thing, when he started for us, I think he's only started 2 games, but he hasn't done that well. But yeah, off the bench, he's been good, of course. But yeah, for me, I'd probably go with the same. Obviously, Belly in goal, Trevor Clark in at left wing back, Anderson right wing back, Kilgore play Anderton, I wouldn't have Harries, for me anyway. And like you, Finley has got to be in the midfield with Coots. And then, like you as well, I'd have Collins and Evans in behind Loft for me. So yeah, I think that'd be a very good team. And yeah, I mean, getting on with predictions now. Of course, Lars has already gone with a 2-1 win. Of course, everyone else, get your comments down below as well, and predictions for the game. But Neil, what are you going for?
I'd snatch your hand off now, to be honest, for a draw. Any point away from home is a decent point. And if Swindon get up and running, they'll be a good side. So if you was to give me a point now, I'd take it. We're miles better than what we were when we last played them. We're fitter, we're stronger. We got near enough, sort of an 80%, 85% fit squad. We've put in some decent performances to date, and we can find a way to get a result. You know, I think it's going to have to be the same sort of performance at times like that we had against Peterborough, where we're just disciplined without the ball. But yeah, I'll go 1-1.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, Vaughan saying 2-2 draw. Matt has gone for a 2-2. BRC Tom 1-0 Spence 90th minute. I mean, I'd snap your hand off for another clean sheet. But yeah, for me, I think it'll be a pretty high scoring game. I think Loft will get a goal, and I think Collins is going to continue as well on the scoring run with another goal. So yeah, 2-2 for me. But yeah, Matt saying 2-0 Gas defensive masterclass. Like I said, I'd bite your hand off for a clean sheet. Imagine a clean sheet away to Swindon. Wow. Riley also saying 2-2 up the Gas, and class support from. Of course, you probably do know, but there's more tickets. So if you haven't got one already, and you thought they would go on, then yeah, let me know. Or go and get a ticket if you haven't already. Gordo saying 0-0 or 1-0. Either way, gonna be a tight game. Yeah, Matt's is saying I'd only take a draw if it's a late equaliser or from at least 2 goals down. I mean, well, looking at Swindon, they're a very good team. So I'm surprised that you want or you think Rovers are gonna win. Or have confidence the way. But of course, we can't play like we did against Hartlepool. Jaden also saying 3-3. Well, that'd be class. Riley saying Collins and Taylor header. Tom saying if we're all worried about Harry's, my shout is Connolly. Yeah, Connolly. But like I would only go Anderton because I don't want like 3 right-footed centre backs. I just got like OCD with stuff like that. And for me, I don't think Anderson deserved to be dropped after his Peterborough performance as well. But it should be interesting. But he'll probably start again, Harry's, because Barton absolutely loves him. Not a clue on the score, but I can see goals, says Yambi Sims. Hopefully Taylor snaps McCurdy's legs. Yeah, hopefully he can get injured early. That'd be nice. Long injury, but only just to miss our game. That'd be nice. Yeah, I'm going Saturday, mate. Buzzing for it. Evening to Mitch as well. Big up to you as well. Always supporting it. The channel. Matt Langley says, yeah, it's like 2.8k allowance. Yeah, either 2.8k or 3k, something like that. Do you think Aaron Collins' goal? Yeah, that was a quality goal. Literally first time smash into the back of the net. But yeah, hit the like button if you haven't already as well. Just hope Ryan Loft settles in. Might have a better chance then. Yeah, I mean, like you said, he's only been here for 2 weeks. He's only played one game, so he can only get better from here. Hopefully, her career-ending injury. Fingers crossed. Unless he wants to sign for us, then I'll take him every day of the week. I can see. I was about to say that actually. This is going to be a game where there's definitely going to be a red card, and hopefully I tell you what, match ban and get sent off again, then I'm going to be livid. And same as Coots. Like he's been pretty good recently, so hopefully no red cards for us. Aaron Collins going to play the guitar. Hopefully he hasn't done one of those like mad celebrations he done at Forest Green yet. But yeah, a lot of people saying a draw, a few people saying a win. No one saying a loss. So yeah, fingers crossed we can get a good result. Like I said, take a win would be amazing. So yeah, 2-2 from me and a 1-1 from Neil as well. Like I said, everyone pretty confident that we can get a good result. And of course, a game that me and you are going to, innit? Scunny. I didn't realise Scunny was only on the Tuesday coming up. So I can't wait for that long old away trip to Scunny. So that should be good. A few last comments. Jaden saying hopefully Aaron Collins stay for 5 years because he's class and it's going to be a tight game. Mitch saying, I reckon 2-1 Rovers, 2-1 to the mighty Gas, up the Gas. Hopefully, I'd love a win. It's not that I think we should beat them. In fact, I said a 2-2 draw. I only said I would take the kind of draw that I mentioned because it's a local rival. Yeah, that's fair enough. This will be main turning point of our season. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, especially with the likes of Scunny. I think Walsall come. Yeah, important games. But yeah, we're going to end it here. Of course, I really appreciate everyone for tuning in on the live. The support has been quality as always, of course. If you haven't already, hit the like button. And, if you are watching on the replay or you've just tuned in, then, of course, leave your predictions after the stream has ended. But yeah, like I said, appreciate Neil as always as well for coming on. Gordo says laters have to walk the dog. Cheers, fella, and everyone support and fingers crossed a decent result. I will also be doing a vlog, but that will be out when I get home from the game, and I'll do a match reaction as well in the stadium as well. But yeah, appreciate everyone tuning in. Smash a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next stream. Up the Gas.